Yeah.
I've never smoked a cigarette.
Never?
Ever?
Never.
Plans to start?
No. Okay. When I was 2 years old, I saw my birth father smoking cigarettes. I never really liked the smell of them. I didn't like that he did it, and I didn't like that he smelled like cigarettes. So I made a pact with myself, never going to touch a cigarette, and I haven't since then.
Nice. You're on a good streak, a lifelong streak.
Yeah. I mean, I know there's different tastes of cigarettes, but I just don't like the smell of them. If I want nicotine, I prefer a vape, but also vapes are weird. I have a weird relationship with vapes. If I picked up a vape, I'm like, oh, I like the head rush initially, and then I kept smoking the vape. Then the head rush, whenever I would hit it, would be less and less, and it's like, oh no, I feel a dependence. I don't want to be dependent on this, and then I just quit. That's
a good habit to have. You start consciously noticing that you're getting addicted to it, and you cut it out. It's easy to not do that. I'll say it's easy to just keep being like, oh, nicotine. I want this. I want it.
With
real
how
bad
many
right
things
now.
though? I was talking to someone about TRT the other day. That's testosterone replacement therapy for men. And they were like, yeah, but then you're dependent on that. I'm like, dude, how many things are we dependent on that we have to do every day?
Water.
So many. Like,
TRT.
You don't
sleep.
You don't have to keep getting those contacts in the mail. Like if those contacts stop coming, like it's a problem. Like lots of people have lots of things. Caffeine. Everybody.
I wouldn't say I'm addicted to corrective eyewear.
Do you get headaches?
I think you are. I think you'd get headaches without it.
You're dependent upon them. You're dependent upon them though. Like, do you get headaches if you don't drink caffeine?
No, I do not.
I don't either. But I know people that do.
People do.
And
I feel like you have to drink a lot of caffeine to get to that point.
If I drink coffee for let's say 5 days straight, and then I stop drinking coffee, I will get a headache, maybe 4 hours, and then it will go away. So I do get those headaches. I totally get that. Is there like another substance that you get a headache, just a regular headache, if you get rid of them, like other than water?
I mean,
skipping water will fuck you up.
Lots of withdrawals from a lot of things give you headaches.
Alcohol is apparently one of the rougher withdrawals.
Nicotine.
Yes, you can die from alcohol withdrawals, and it's one of the interesting things. I bet you both know this. They keep like Miller Lite at the pharmacy locked up at the hospital. They've got cans of beer in there. So if someone comes in and they're going through DTs and they're dying, there's nothing in a syringe to fix this. There's no IV bag to hang. Get that man a Miller Lite. It's Miller time.
I'd love to see some guy in the emergency room turn their nose up at Bud Light. Be like, oh, what am I, fag?
What am I, faggot? I'd rather die.
I'd rather die. He's shaking his ass off.
He slaps it out of her hand.
I think that alcohol and benzodiazepines are the only things that you can die in withdrawal from. Like I know like heroin is a horrible thing to withdraw, but I don't think it can kill you.
I got a thing. Woody, you're Philadelphia. So I've been watching the guy from Channel 5 News. Remember he had that sex assault allegation a while back, so he really toned things down. He's all gas, no breaks.
Matt Lauer.
He broke off and did Channel 5 News. He does YouTube videos recently where he goes to like the scummiest places in America and kind of gets the nitty gritty on the drug use and the street crime. He was in San Fran for a while, and oh my God, it's wild out there.
So I don't know what you're talking about, but I have a question. Did he go to Kensington and Arlington?
I don't know where those places specifically, but I'm only 5 minutes in. I had to go shower and like do some shit and then come here. But I'm saving it for it's Andrew Callahan, I think maybe is his name.
Yes. That's
anyway,
his name.
Thank you. Man, 5 or 10 minutes into the Philadelphia episode. So Trank is the thing there. It's like xylazine or something. What it is they're adding in this animal tranquilizer that's used on everything from mice to horses. It's like the go-to, I guess, into whatever drugs they were already doing, and it's called Trank. But the thing about that xylazine or whatever is something about the way it constricts veins or blood vessels. It ends up leading to a lot of like fasciitis, like rotting flesh, and like they have these ulcers, opened oozy wounds on their shins and calves and stuff. And also when they're on the drug, like when they're having fun, they would say they look like zombies, like bent
Ooh.
backwards, like in weird contorted ways. It's impressive that they can hold that position. It's like yoga.
Like the heroin stances, like those like
This is-
weird, almost falling over.
Yeah. So apparently they showed some statistic
walk.
about like apparently a large percentage of the overdose deaths have had trank, you know, in the mixture, because it's like a cocktail, I guess, of that xylazine and maybe heroin and maybe even some fentanyl that they're shooting up. And Jesus, they all had dirty needles. The one guy had a needle like behind his ear. You know how you throw like a
pencil,
spare cig or a pencil. Dude, no cap on it.
Ooh, that's got to be pokey.
Yes, it's pokey. And he's asking this one guy's got stores all over his face.
Dude, that part of Philadelphia is underrated, right? Everyone knows about Detroit. A lot of people know about bad parts of San Fran or St. Louis, but the worst parts of Philadelphia rank with anywhere on the planet. I had a friend who was friends with a cop, and he was like, "Where's the worst place in Philadelphia?" And he's like, "K&A, the corner of Kensington and Arlington. The prostitutes there will do things for less than $5." It's like, whoa, what a fucking metric.
Wow.
Less than $5.
Yeah, you wouldn't
inflation proof.
Mitt, how much is your fans league?
Starting price is 10 at the lowest tier.
There
so
you go.
yeah,
some self-respect.
You know, I actually stayed.
You won't find her on K&A.
No.
I stayed in a really terrible place in Philly because I don't know Philly, and so there was the Who Are These Podcasts, the Dick Show live show there, and I was like, okay, well, I'm just gonna pick an Airbnb, and I ended up picking an Airbnb in the top 5. Like the 5, it was like number 5 on the highest crime in Philly, and I was like, "Oh no!" Okay, so here's how the Airbnb was: 3 separate locks, a lock on the door to get into the Airbnb, and then a lock to get to the floor where the Airbnb was, and then a lock to get into the actual Airbnb. Yeah. And there was a camera within the living room of the Airbnb.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is insane.
Oh, there were cameras in every room.
I'm sure there.
That's just the one you saw.
Yeah. There was a
that thermostat
for wide. That one's for wide shots.
Yeah,
establishing frames and such.
And it was pretty ridiculous. There was just like people walking, like jaywalking across the street all the time. There was a lot of people who were. It seemed like they were bugging out. Like they would be like acting pretty erratically. I was a little bit scared, but
Atlanta is more violent than
you should
druggy.
Be. Yeah,
like when
drug addicts.
Sometimes I'll get off. I'm bad about missing my exit. Like. I'll do it a lot. And
driving Mach 1 when this happens?
I go pretty fast. They don't pull you over for speeding in Atlanta. And I'm past my court
Good
shit.
To know.
So now it's like, you're gonna write me a ticket? I'll pay it. I haven't had one in 12 years. You'll probably let me slide. So I'll drive like 100 pretty regularly. Like that's kind of my cruising speed. And never been pulled over.
That's insane. Those are motorcycle rules.
It's kind of my cruising.
I promise you, like if you're on 285, it's a problem to pull someone over on that thing. There's nowhere to go. You get on that shoulder, hop out of your car, officer, and Indiana Jones side straddle between the 100-mile-per-hour traffic, because everybody's doing it in the fast lane anyway. Miss my and I went down a scary fucking place, but it was more like violent than druggy, you know, like it was more like I saw a lot of people on stoops with liquor bottles out in public, and I saw a lot of there was a lot of yelling in general. It was loud there. You ever go to a place and like you're just at a gas station making a U-turn? It's like, why is everyone shouting?
I have that experience.
You can smell weed in the air.
With LA, I was in a part of downtown LA trying to get gas. I pull into this gas station and there's just like 10 people just loitering there, and there's a couple having an argument, and like, I'm almost out of gas. I don't want to stop here because I don't want to deal with the people yelling. Like, I have noise sensitivity issues, so if I were to just be next to a person yelling, I just start freaking out and just like start stemming, and then people would be like, "What are you doing, lady?" Also, my first ever experience being catcalled was in the same place in Philly that I stayed in that Airbnb.
Oh,
Like,
you got
that
a lot
was
of
the-
memories. Yeah.
What was his line? What was his go-to?
It was just 3 honks in the
That's
car.
respectful.
Yeah, that's like my only.
He just wanted to get out of the street.
Yeah. Were you
I
standing
was
in the
on the
road when this
sidewalk.
happened?
I was on the sidewalk, but so when I crossed the street, and then when I was on the other side of the sidewalk, just going to my car, he honked. Then he was crossing the street. When he was crossing the street, just going forward, and I was going towards my car, he honked again, and then he honked a third time. I think he shouted like, "Hey, mama, you look good. You look fine," like towards me. Around like the third honk, I was like, I'm just going to ignore it. I have other things to do. I'm not here.
Was part of
to
you feeling
acknowledge
like, yeah, I am killing it today?
yeah, I was like, huh. I was just thinking to myself, this is the only time I've ever been catcalled. There's so many people.
Sorry, Zach.
There's so many people who say it's such a big issue that people online say it's such a big issue with them, but personally, it's only happened to me once, so I don't know. I don't know what type of people
Do you
are
go out
catcalling
a
these
lot?
people.
Or do you go out a lot though?
Not often.
Yeah.
But when I am in the big city, I dress up. I dress real sexy. My ass is hanging out. The only thing that's obstructing my ass from the real world is just some lime green fishnets, and that's just how I'm looking. So I mean, I understand people honking, catcalling me. I expect that.
You
but
really can't say much, can
You're
you,
walking
at that
around in
point?
lime green fishnets. They're honking at you, and you're like, "What about how I'm dressed tells you that's the kind of attention I'm looking for?"
Her shirt says "honk if you love titties." It's
Yeah. Yeah,
Oh,
it's like I'm wearing stuff like that, and it was like the only time where I've been catcalled. I'm like, huh, maybe I'm not going out enough. Like I only go out
that's it.
whenever I'm doing like big events. Like if there's like a live show, and I go to the city and I walk around. Also, I walk around in groups too, so that also helps.
It's probably a good idea.
Safety,
Yeah.
yeah, definitely.
You look
Safety
tiny, like
first.
somebody could
I
like
think I
snatch you
would.
up and run away with you.
Aren't you 5'7"?
I am 5'7". I
Oh.
am fiercer
That's
than I look. I will bite. I will kick. I have 4 years of Taekwondo training underneath my belt, so I know how to kick, and I know how the best place to punch someone is in their penis.
There you go.
Yeah.
So you're
Unless they're into cock and ball torture, and then you're in trouble,
Oh,
madam.
gee.
No, it's still the best place.
just in case. I think you stick with the group plan. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I
I see.
Wait, so you still do Taekwondo, or you're out of practice?
I'm out of practice. I did Taekwondo from first and second grade, and then 7th through 9th grade. That was when I did Taekwondo. I still know the basic fundamental stuff like stance and the kicks, because I've done it so many times. I just know how to do it intuitively.
What would
but
happen if a man tried to pin you down? Would he be in deep trouble, you think? Or
yes, I'm slippery. I would flail my arms around.
the
I would
windmill,
kick,
right?
I would do like woo.
Yeah, that's often seen in the UFC.
Ah, you know your Taekwondo well.
I have a daughter, and it's a balancing act.
Whoa, we
to,
better
like,
get out of
raise
here. This bitch
part
is
of it.
trained.
It's like you want to, on one hand, let them know they're a strong woman who, has, like, I don't know, worth and strength and don't back
Agency.
down. On the other hand, but don't really do that. That's not a good plan.
Bring a gun. Just
Yeah,
be
right?
safe.
If you can run, if you
Yeah,
can
and-
run.
Yeah,
Do you have a
wanna run.
gun? You
I
can-
don't have a gun. No.
You got to get
Aren't
strapped
you in
up.
LA?
No, I'm in Kentucky.
Get a
Oh,
gun.
you're the only one without a gun. You're at a huge disadvantage.
Get it away.
Can't you get like a mail-in concealed carry in Kentucky? Like, my guess.
know, I
is
actually
easy.
never looked
it's
into it.
constitutional carry. Just like, oh my god, just go get one.
Right. There's really
Mhm.
no concealing in that outfit. It's
Although-
open carry.
Although,
Laura Croft.
Ooh, a Laura Croft is with a gun would
Yeah,
be
you could have
fun.
two.
Fun cosplay idea, actually.